covering your campus, your community, and your world. From the McElroy Communication Arts Center in the Grant Price Studio, this is WTV8 News.
Membership, participation, engagement is all going to be up.
Coming up on WTV8 News, a class at Wartburg College. Wartburg boasts more than 100 campus organizations.
And later, the winter weather has people down in the dumps. See what the Waverly Public Library is doing to beat the blues.
And in sports, see how the Wartburg men and women did when the dreaded Luther Norse made their way to Lubbock Arena. Your WTV8 News starts now. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Andrew Bridgewater.
And I'm Jacqueline Schutte.
With so many student organizations on campus, it might be hard for students to know much about any individual student-led group.
WTV8's Danny Householder took a look at how one class aims to bring awareness to some of those little-known student organizations.
Even if you do not want to see them, advertisements are everywhere across Wartburg's campus. Most of them come from one of the school's student organizations, whether it is Student Senate, the One Campaign, or Campus Ministries. It can be practically guaranteed that you will see or hear about one of these student-led groups at some point throughout the day. And since we are reminded of them so often, it is only logical to think that all students know about every single one of them.
But actually, that's wrong. In fact, I learned that even ETK, one of Wartburg's biggest and most successful organizations on campus, has a hard time getting word out about their events.
I wanted to know how much students knew about ETK's large event for this year. So first, I asked a few of them if they knew who the main act is going to be.
Yeah, Javier Colon.
I believe it is Javier Colon.
Yeah, it's Javier Colon, right?
That was pretty easy. Next, I asked if they knew where the event will be held.
Might be in Lyceum. Lyceum's kind of nice. I don't know.
Guess in the big auditorium.
Yeah, it's in the Newman Auditorium.
Finally, I asked if they knew the date of the event.
The January 30th.
Is it really?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
No, I don't know.
In order to find out how organizations can fully inform students about who they are, I asked Public Relations Professor Dr. Bill Withers what he thought.
If you've got a good group of student leaders coming through, there's a very good chance that they're going to be evangelists for that student organization. Membership, participation, engagement is all going to be up.
One of Dr. Withers' students, Bethany Freestad, is a junior who represents the International Club. She says that she is not satisfied with the student body's awareness of its organizations.
I think we could definitely do a better job as a student body in promoting them and making it seem like more of a priority here on campus.
So whether you want to step up like Freestad and lead an organization, or if you simply want to join a student-led group, it should not be too hard. After all, we can learn about them anywhere. Reporting for WTV8 News, I'm Danny Householder.
In the event of a campus-wide emergency, Wartburg Alert would notify students, faculty, and staff. However, less than half of campus is registered to receive those alerts. Only 750 of the 2,300 members of the Wartburg community have signed up for Wartburg Alert. The system is designed to send a text message or a phone call in the event of emergency. Campus officials urge everyone to sign up as soon as possible. You can find a link to sign up for the Wartburg Alert system on the circuit.
Just over a week ago, a heating pipe broke, causing water damage to the Vogel Library. The pipe broke 2 weekends ago on the third floor of the library, and the pipe caused water damage to a small portion of the third floor. The water also dripped down along the wall, causing some minor damage to a couple of ceiling tiles on the second floor. The damage was kept to a minimum because the library was open at the time.
It was spewing water out all over the third floor, so we had staff and student workers trying to, throw down towels and contain things until maintenance could get here and shut things off and take care of it.
And now 2 years ago, a similar heating pipe burst due to cold weather during Christmas break. The water caused $16,000 worth of damage and affected all three floors of the Vogel Library and damaging over 800 books. It is unknown what caused the heating pipe to burst this time, but temperatures were below zero the night before and the heat was turned down. Director of the physical plant, John Wirtz, believes the pipe may have froze and then broke. And with Valentine's Day coming up, some might be thinking about their relationship status and asking questions, or one really big question.
I went inside a class here at Wartburg that doesn't focus on career skills, but life skills and that next big step, marriage. According to the National Center for Health Statistics, 60% of marriages for couples between the ages of 20 and 25 end in divorce. Pastor Ramona Bazard teaches a class for those interested in learning more about and creating better relationships.
There's always lots of wondering about, what do I do when we have differences, or how do we work through financial problems? It's a really great chance for them to talk with people who have been married different lengths of time, and they don't feel dumb asking questions.
As part of the marriage class, students have the opportunity to learn more about each other as well as themselves. The topics include finances, personal expectations, family planning, relationship goals, and traditions.
For me, the goal of the class is to give them an opportunity to talk about with other people the important parts about marriage.
One couple has learned more about themselves already.
Taking this class just to get a better understanding of where I'm at in my relationship and in areas that I can grow in and areas that I'm doing well in.
I think it's really important that people really get to know each other and understand each other and take classes like this to make sure that they're with the right person.
Pastor Bazard says there is no secret to having a successful relationship.
There's no guarantees any way around. You can't say, here's the perfect marriage. The bottom line is, lifestyle and values about what's important to me. Is it money, or is it people, or is it my calling? If you don't ask those questions ahead of time, then it's a big surprise sometimes.
The class is 4 weeks long and is welcome to people of all relationship statuses. It is offered by Spiritual Life and Campus Ministry.
Coming up, despite the economy, some big-ticket items are still flying off the shelves, or in this case, the lots. Find out next in WTV News.
And later, some supporters for Newt Gingrich have come up with a new tactic to help people get out and vote.
In this week's Business Focus, the nationwide economy is still struggling, but Waverly is still thriving. WTV8's Ben Hoppenworth shows us how one local business is still going strong despite some big-ticket items.
In 2008, the United States was in the middle of a recession, causing plenty of businesses like General Motors to go into bankruptcy. This then caused plenty of dealerships around the country to have to make a decision: move forward or step back.
Luckily for Jerry Rolling, an aggressive plan has paid off.
We looked at everything, and there's some scary numbers there, but we took the plunge, and being that way and being aggressive has really paid off for us. We want to move forward.
We've been very fortunate here at Jerry Rolling Motors. Our sales have continuously gone up over the past 5 years, so pretty much on a steady basis.
On top of bringing in inventory and hiring, the building itself got a little remodeling too. Like some of its fellow GM dealerships, Jerry Rolling was torn down. The only difference is this one got rebuilt.
We'd outgrown the old one, and it was about a 50 or 60-year-old pole building that had been turned into a dealership that served us well for a lot of years. General Motors came in and said, it's time. If you guys want to be a progressive dealer with us, we want you guys to build a new store.
Those at Jerry Rolling say they have the strong local economy to thank for their recent success.
I think just being in the Midwest, that we're very fortunate. I think we've been isolated a little bit from what has happened on the East Coast and the West Coast.
We live in a farm economy, and the farm economy has been great.
Even with their consistent sales and a steady economy, people might be cutting back a little, but that's not something that concerns this local dealer.
They will hold off a little bit. Maybe keep theirs for a couple years longer and service it, or they'll try and look at a used car, but people are always going to be buying cars.
Overall, Jerry Rolling Motors in Waverly has been a bright spot in a down national economy. Reporting for WTV8 News, I'm Ben Hoppenworth.
The Waverly Public Library held its third Beat the Blues concert last Friday evening. The event consisted of music performed by John Wolfe and local high school band Slemons Run. Community members could also purchase pie, ice cream, and beverages throughout the night. All the money from the food sales went to the Cedar Falls charity Reach Out and Read.
It's just a time to sit back, relax, break up the winter weather, and get out and just have some good music and some good food for a good cause.
Now that it's over, all I can do is
Barrow says the night raised $125 for the charity and that they hope to host the event again next year.
And coming up, Oh Baby will bring you the story of a birth of one hefty newborn.
The next presidential primary will be held tomorrow in Florida. The most recent poll show former Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney ahead of Newt Gingrich by 15 points. Romney's success is being credited to his ability to appeal to both Tea Party members in Florida as well as those who consider themselves moderate or liberal.
Polls also show Rick Santorum in third place and Ron Paul in fourth. And about 10 people were involved in Occupy Des Moines were arrested last night. The occupiers were protesting outside the Capitol building in Des Moines last night when they were asked to leave by Des Moines police. When they refused, they were arrested and removed from the scene.
A New York man has won the lottery but isn't accepting his prize money. The winning lottery ticket, which was worth millions of dollars, was purchased over a year ago but wasn't submitted until last December. 76-year-old Crawford Shaw of Bedford, New York, strangely withdrew his submission for redemption just this last week. The unclaimed money will go toward future prizes.
A Des Moines woman gave birth to nearly a 14-pound baby boy on Thursday. Asher Stewardson was born to Mom Kendall and Dad Joshua last Thursday at a whopping 13 pounds and 12 ounces. Asher also came in at 23.5 inches long. Big babies run in the Stewardson family, as big brother Judah weighed in at just over 12 pounds when he was born. Both mother and baby came out perfectly healthy.
Shelby Gernath joins us now for sports.
Thanks, guys. Last Monday, there was a basketball game going on in Levick Arena, but no Wartburg basketball players were involved. Wartburg's Black Student Union planned an event that brought together two groups on campus. It was an unlikely matchup. Students versus faculty. Levick Arena was filled with laughter and applause last Monday as Wartburg students watched their professors and fellow students play each other in a basketball game.
The idea came up and everybody went for it.
It's just for a good cause. It's just fun to get out there and just play with everybody and just, have a good time, play basketball.
The cause was the House of Hope in Waterloo.
The House of Hope actually teaches women to get out of generational poverty. So it's actually a program that teaches women how to use the money wisely, so it's not just given to them.
Wartburg's Black Student Union planned the Hoop for Hope fundraiser to raise money for the women and children at the House of Hope.
They're going to use it for gas cards, transportation. A lot of the kids need like diapers and food and clothes and stuff like that.
And there definitely was not a lack of fun or competition. The faculty was actually ahead by 10 points going into a very eventful halftime. However, in the second half, the students came out with their A game by teaching the faculty a thing or two about basketball. Thanks to a missed free throw at the end of the game, the students schooled their professors by a close score of 69-68.
No, I expected us to win by more than what we lost by, actually. But it was a great game. Unfortunately, the wrong team came out on top.
The refs definitely gave them an advantage. Coach Newsom, no refereeing in his future.
With us old people out there, I didn't think it was going to be as close as it was. But, we gave them their money's worth here for a while. And we had a shot at the end, but didn't make the shot.
I thought we were going to blow them out pretty easy, but they got some game in them for being how old they are, so.
Of course, we knew we was going to win, but we gave the staff a little, motivation to think they had a chance. So hopefully we don't fail any classes because of this.
Even though it got a little heated at times, and some egos may have been bruised, everyone would agree that the event was a huge success.
The whole House of Hope organization is something really big. I've heard a lot about it, and just for people to come out here and support it, it just made it that much more important for us to come out here and actually just put on the show for everybody.
It was great. There was a lot of friendly competition out there, and like you said, all for a good cause, which makes it even more special.
It was fun. It was all about fun tonight. This is what we came out and we did.
It was wonderful. These guys are great. Everybody seemed to have a good time. Students were a lot of fun. We had a blast.
Now BSU had a goal of raising $250, and they actually ended up raising $360. Still to come in sports, I'll bring you highlights from all the basketball action last week, and we'll see how the indoor track and field teams did. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Welcome back to WTV8 News. The Wartburg indoor track and field teams hosted the Wartburg Triangular last week. On the women's side, the Knights came out on top in 13 events. Nevada Morrison won the 60-meter dash and the 200-meter run. Kendra Craigle won the 600-meter run and the long jump. Faith Burt took the 400-meter race, Callie Adkins claimed the 1,000-meter run, and Hattie Vaughter won the 1-mile run. Laura Sigmund won the 3,000-meter run, and Kamisha Goods came out on top in the 60-meter hurdles. Wartburg's A relay teams won the 4x200 and the 4x400 titles as well. And finally, rounding it out for the women, Mary Rage won the high jump, and Britlin Seek took the shot put. The women ended up winning the meet with 360.5 points. Now the men's team also had success. Jonah Salusame won the long jump and the high jump, and Dominique Nellums took the triple jump. The Knights had 3 top 5 finishers in the 600-meter race and 3 competitors placed in the top 5 in the 3,000-meter run. Wendell Booth took second in the long jump and the triple jump. And at the end of the weekend, the men finished second with 179.5 points. The Orange and Black return to action this weekend at their own select meet. Now the women's basketball team had a few key matchups last week. First up for the Knights was Wednesday night against the BV Beavers. Here in the first half, a wide open Maddie Sadecki pulls up and it's nothing but net. BV breaks through the Wartburg D here for 2 points, and right before halftime, Stephanie Ryder hits the three-pointer, sending the Knights into the break up by 10. Now in the second half, Terry Dirks lights up the show as she scores this three-pointer, followed by a layup off the assist from Leslie Wilson. Emily Timmermans adds 2 points here, and the women go on to win 59-42. Dirks had a team-high 15 points, and Ryder added 11. Wartburg's defense held BV to a team field goal percentage of 26%. Now next up for the women was Saturday when the rival Norse from Luther rolled into Waverly. Stephanie Ryder is hot off the bench for the Knights as she drains the tray. Then it's Maddie Sadecki with her own three-pointer. Going into halftime, the Orange and Black were up 47-28. In the second half, Luther tries to get something going on in offense here, but it will be Kathy Ryder who comes up with the steal, and she's going to take it all the way for the 2-point bucket. The Knights ended up winning this one by a final score of 78-55. Wilson had a career-high day with her 25 points, and Ryder and Dirks added 17 and 10 points respectively. The Knights were ahead by as many as 28 points in the second frame. With last week's wins, the women's team moves to 15-5 overall and 8-3 in Iowa Conference play. The men's basketball team also hit the hardwood last week. First up for the Knights was BV. Eddie Deemer dribbles around the Beaver Dam here for the layup, and then Mitchell Murphy fakes BV out by driving it in and dishing it out to Brandon Flanor, who nails the three-pointer. In the second half, the pesky Beavers get a jump shot, and followed by this three-pointer, and Buena Vista goes on to win this one 83-77. Sadoff led the Orange and Black with 15 points, and Patterson and Murphy each added 13. Now after that loss, the Knights would hope to come up with a victory against Luther on Saturday. Here in the first, Darian Patterson misses the layup, but he grabs the rebound and puts it right back up for the 2 points. It's nothing but net for Thomas Perkins here, adding 3 points for Wartburg. Mitchell Murphy gets in on the scoring fun with his own three-pointer, and the Knights were up 35-30 at halftime. Brandon Flanor and Jordan Sadoff team up here as Flanor sets Sadoff up for the picture-perfect alley-oop. Luther makes a three-pointer here, but it won't be enough for them as the Knights take it 62-53. Sadoff, Perkins, and Murphy finished in double digits with 18, 12, and 10 points respectively. Sadoff finished a perfect 10 for 10 from the charity stripe. Now with that win, the Knights improved to 9-11 overall and 3-8 in the IIAC. The men and women return to action Wednesday when they travel to Cornell. Now also to find out how the wrestling team did at the Iowa Conference Duels, check out Sports Night tomorrow night at 8.
All right, Shelby, and it's Super Bowl week this week, so Giants, Patriots, who do you got?
I'm going to go with the Giants just because Patriots, I'm not a really big fan of them. So I'm going to go with the Giants, and, you know, I think it'd be better if there were some teams that I was a little more interested in, but it happens.
Like the Packers?
Well, I'd only be happy if the Packers were in it so I could cheer against them, of course.
Oh, I guess it'll be a good game, you know, that rematch from 4 years ago,
right.
And maybe they'll have one of those spectacular catches again.
Maybe, we'll see.
All right, thank you, Shelby.
You're welcome.
And this has been a year of some creative campaigning. See what one candidate has on his side that might help him wrap up the nomination.
And Facebook will be experiencing some changes once again. Coming up next in Trendsetter.
And what you just heard was a new rap song released to get out the vote presidential candidate Newt Gingrich. Candidates and their supporters are getting more and more creative when it comes to promoting themselves in this race, and I think this song is pushing it a little bit too far.
I would agree. I mean, you have to, I know you're trying to reach the younger crowd, but you have to remember your older crowd as well when doing stuff like that.
But I guess Newt's going to need pretty much anything he can get right now, because with Florida tomorrow, he's down by 15 points. He's going to need pretty much about whatever he needs, right?
Right.
You should just stick to Facebook or something. Maybe stay out of rap.
Stay out of rap. I would have to agree with you there because, and speaking of the social media stuff, Facebook.
Yeah, it seems like Facebook is changing something almost every day. The latest and possibly biggest is the timeline, which is set to be on every Facebook profile within the next couple of weeks. So what do you think of Facebook's new look?
Well, I have the new timeline because I knew it was going to change this week, this upcoming week. So I was like, before it just randomly changes over there, you can see it right now. That's my profile. I was just like, well, might as well look through it and see what it's all about.
And how do you like it?
I like it. I like it because it reminds me of a 2-column script and the way we do our TV stuff. So I have my stuff on the one side and everybody else's stuff on the other side. So.
But it doesn't show like what you did on other people's wall, though.
No.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, we're gonna like it one way or another, whether we like it or not.
I guess.
It's gonna be here. And that's all the time we have tonight. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night at 8 for a brand new sports night. And
then on Thursday night at 8 for a brand new Night Watch. You can find us right back here on Monday night for more WTV8 news. Have a good night.